All right, let's talk about the upcoming UFC pay-per-view. Alex Volkanovski in action against Ilia Topuria, much anticipated. I want to get your preview of the fight, and then we'll get into and then we'll talk about the lines. But just as you start to think about it, Volkanovski is a minus 125 favorite. Topuria is minus 105, and almost even money on the over/under 3.5 rounds. But we'll come back to the prediction. How you like this fight? What are you looking forward to the most?
You just finished talking earlier in our opening about how good these lines makers are and how good they showed you they were once again in the Super Bowl, how close they were to the over-under, to the line for the sides that it would be decided by. It shows you they're right on the money again. This is a hell of a fight, a hell of a competitive. Can't get close, and that's how they have it set up, where it's as close as you could get. And they're leaning towards the guy who's been there, the guy with more experience, the guy who's been a champion, is a champion, the guy that they're leaning towards the guy that has done it at this level before. But they are also telling you that they recognize the potential, the talent of Topuria, the undefeated fighter. One thing he's got going, first of all, he hasn't learned how to lose yet. That is something to have going for you. But the main thing that he's got going for him, and the reason why the line, again, is so close, and again, they're slightly favored Volkanovski because of his experience, what he's done on the stage, that he's shown you he can handle the hot lights with the top competition. His last fight, of course, there should be an asterisk next to it. Probably, to Islam Makhachev. Yeah, Makhachev is special, no doubt, but he's too big. I know, and don't forget, Volkanovski had fought him before, and it was a competitive fight. But this time, on very quick notice, he fought the rematch with Makhachev, and he got TKO'd. I guess it was a TKO, you would call it. I think a kick was a big part of it in the first round. So mentally, what did that do? You have to take that into consideration. How has that affected him? Because he's one of the most confident together guys you're ever going to meet, Volkan. And I love him. He's been on this show. I just love him. I think he's great. I love what I see about Topuria. Topuria, he is tremendously talented. They're both, striking comes first, but they're both well-rounded guys. Both of them. Topuria maybe more with the jiu-jitsu on the mat, and Volkanovski with the grappling. They both can handle themselves anywhere in the octagon. I watched both their fights to get ready for this. I watched them again. I watched Topuria. I did my film room stuff that I spent hours looking at the tapes to give this breakdown. I feel very, very good about the assessment I'm going to put out there. Topuria, he's like a boxer. I mean, he can handle himself, and so can Volkanovski. Tremendous strikers. They can handle themselves in professional fights with certain guys. You put them on. There's guys out there they can beat. And I don't mean guys off, the basketball court. I mean guys that, that have been fighting that they can beat. They're that good at boxing. I call it boxing, striking, because they make it look like boxing. Because they do the things that a boxer needs to do. Smart things. Technically sound things. Topuria's got great hand speed. He's got power. Great technique. He controls range really, really well, Ken. In and out. Really well at controlling range for defense and for offense to set up counters. He counters well. He leads well. He goes to the body. He is a guy that doesn't really have many weaknesses. He's buttoned up. He's not a seek and destroy guy. He does it systematically. but he does it consistently. And he's never lost. And he believes he would never lose. And that's part of the confidence that makes him so good. I think that Volkanovski can... I'm looking for strengths and weaknesses. I just told you all his strengths. If there's a potential weakness, he's a little predictable with his in and out, where it's pretty much in and out, not to the sides. So Volkanovski, who's very good at this, I think an opportunity, if they watch the film, which I'm sure they have, there's an opportunity. If I was his coach, this is what I would be saying. There's an opportunity for you to maybe time Topuria as he goes out, to try to time him going out, which Volkanovski has quick feet. He could close the gap, catch him going out. But it's not easy. Also, I noticed that Topuria once in a while might lead with the left hook in front. If I was Volkanovski, I would look for a straight right hand. If there's an opportunity where there is a lead left hook in front from Topuria, look to land the straight right hand. As far as Volkanovski, we all know him. We don't know Topuria is good. We all know Volkanovski. Tremendous strike. Tremendous all-around guy. Tremendously tough. Beyond tough. Topuria also showed me a good chin in his win against Emmett. Emmett can knock walls down. Knock walls down. He's Ernie Shavers from boxing with the right hand. Knock walls down. And I'm not saying Topuria got caught much because he's a good defensive fighter, but he got touched a little bit and he handled really like nothing. So I think he's got a good chin. Volkanovski has everything. Heart, chin, resiliency, just refusal to give in. Refusal to give in, which we saw him when he was in that T-hold, whatever that was, with the man that, you know, is one of the, his nickname was T-hole, whatever his name was. Remember you'll look it up. It was a couple of fights ago. And Volkanovski, he had him dead for rights. He had Volkanovski dead for rights. And it looked like Volkanovski was, it looked like he was having a seizure. You know, trying to get out of it.
Oh, against T-City, Ortega, Brian Ortega.
Ortega, thank you. And look, when you're nicknamed T-City, it's for a reason, because you're the best at giving those kind of holes. And he had him in it. He had him in his T-City thing. Locked down. Done. Done. You know what I mean? Mail it in. Done. Stamp it. Finished. And it would have been. If anybody but anyone other than Volkanovski, because he doesn't say, no, he doesn't say it's a finish. No, you got to finish him. He doesn't play that. So this guy is very special. He's been special. Topuria is trying to show you that he can be special. And it starts here. It starts here. Volkanovski, like I said, well-rounded, mentally, technically, on the mat, off the mat. He even switches to southpaw to make himself more effective from the southpaw stance when he needs to. I don't know how much the last fight's going to affect him, if at all, but it's going to be a hell of a fight. A hell of a fight. Because these guys, again, there's a reason why these bookies who are very smart at this stuff made it basically an even fight. Because it is that. For me, it is that. Do you believe in, the baton being passed maybe? I don't know if it's time for Volkanovski to pass the baton. I don't know. He ain't that old. I don't know if it's time. I definitely know that he don't think it's time to pass the baton.
Well, Topuria, Topuria's finished every opponent but two. In his 14-0, he submitted, looks like the first roughly 10 opponents, and then has all KOs, submissions, only 2 times gone to decision. Youssef Zalal, his first fight in the UFC, and then a unanimous decision over Josh Emmett. So even when he's gone the distance, he's been given a unanimous decision, but it's an impressive record.
Very competitive, 100% Ken. Very impressive. I can't wait to watch it. Great, great, great fight. Great fight. Great talents, both of them. Really, and you got the storylines. You got the intangibles. You know what I mean? You got the X factors. You got Volkanovski, the great Volkanovski. Can he come back off his defeat? You know, is he still the great Volkanovski? Topuria, undefeated. No man has been able to, you know, come close to beating him. Is he going to be the next great? Because that's what he's, you know, that's what he's positioned himself to be. And to say about him that he's going to be the next great. And in an eye-pleasing way, not just on the mat. Like I said, for me, eye-pleasing in that he's such a great striker, such an unbelievably good striker, as Volkanovski is. So, really tough to choose here. Really is. I mean, if someone's going to beat Volkanovski, if someone's going to beat him at his weight class, I mean, this would maybe be that someone. But go ahead, set me up.
Who are you going to take? Volkanovski minus 125, Topuria minus 105, and the over-under is basically even money at 3.5 rounds.
I'm saying it's going to go over. These guys are too good. Nobody's giving in. Nobody's giving an inch. They're good enough with striking. Nobody's getting hit that perfect punch, I don't think, or perfect kick. They're too smart. They're too good that way. They're very even on the mat. They're well-rounded in all ways. They know how to survive on the mat, or to survive or to triumph on the mat. Either way, to strive or survive. At the end of the day, drum roll, please. At the end of the day, Ken, I can't go against Volkanovski till you show me that you're going to beat him at his weight class.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree with you.
All the characteristics, all the special traits that make a man special. It's not just your genetic makeup. It's not even your hard training. It's what's inside of you. What's inside of you. What's inside of you. With all of that, I'm not saying Topuria doesn't have it, but I know Volkanovski has it. I'm betting on that. I know he has that. And being that I know he has that, I'm going to believe he's going to come back off that disastrous fight where, you know, he took the fight on quick notice. He's going to come back and he's going to test Topuria in a way that he hasn't yet been tested, and he's going to get the win.